Welcome, punks. This is the Punkery Show live from the worst city in the world, Las Venturas. I hope you all are having a very fun time in the city that never stops sucking. This is Rashawn, and my co-host here is Kesh, who has drank all of her tea. Honestly,
Before we started the show.
Exactly, sometimes I really wonder, because Brits apparently are the ones that drink tea all the time, and they do say that tea is supposed to be good for you, but, the British have an issue with their teeth. So, could tea be fucking up British teeth? I don't know. It could be a correlation, when the Brits tried to suppress America for independence so long ago. I guess Americans evolved from the bad teeth of the British, and now they fuck them up by other stuff like alcohol and diet soda or something like that.
It's just because, I don't know, tea has also its own, colorant or whatever. It's almost like a dye. If you would ever make a lot of teas over a period of time, you would see that there's thing that's left on the mug. For example, on the mugs that I use for tea all the time, at the end you can't even properly wash them out anymore because there's dye that has penetrated the whatever the mug is made out of. So maybe it's the same with the teeth. I don't know. And also, Chivo said tea is acidic.
Well, that does change my entire thoughts about what I think tea is, because my parents were always like, "I'm on in time. You have to drink tea, so you don't get an upset stomach," and all of that. So exactly, yeah, you gotta drink tea in the morning because you don't have an upset stomach. That's the translation. But if tea really fucks your teeth up, well, shit. I guess I should drink water in the morning because water is the best tasting thing in the world that the world could ever produce. Okay, because Americans get tricked by the fakery that is diet soda. And I don't know if you drink diet soda, Cash. But
no, no.
But
what? I teleported through the wall.
And
And
see,
I got two arrests, I'm bossing. Big time.
yeah. Cassius had a very tough time with Las Venturas, because we were sitting here waiting for literally an hour to wait for for Las Venturas to increase in players because it was 27 at the beginning of the game week, and she's in here hooting, hollering, and squeaking about people warrants, having some superpowers or something because she used a cheetah, which the cheetah stinks. Shout out to Chivo. He usually uses a buffalo when he plays cop. That's a very good choice. But the cheetah's for normies and bitches, and very simply, if you drive a cheetah, you suck. So anyway, Easter. What happened to Easter? Crazy Bob is out on constant vacation, apparently, He missed 3 straight holidays. He missed Good Friday. He missed Good Friday. He missed 420.
Oh.
And he missed Easter. 3 straight holidays Crazy Bob missed over the weekend. And there were some people, not as much as the Christmas event, but some people were really holding out hope that we'd get an Easter update. But it's not going to happen. I think at this point in the server, we're only going to acknowledge very specific holidays. Christmas, Halloween. Yes, Crazy Bob missed Valentine's Day. Yes. Well, Crazy Bob has his own Valentine going on, so
Ooh la la.
Yeah, so I don't think that the rest of us here who are all playing CnR, without that Valentine thing, will be able to,
He's gonna ruin the game though. I mean, not that he only ruins that day because like there's no update and people are waiting it. Like some items might become more rare. Like there's not gonna be, certain items that are.
Yeah, like the Sam Top hat. It's just like the Sam Top hat. Listen, the Sam Top hat is really, really valuable these days. Like, put some respect on it. But
I was actually really stoked for Easter because, like, I've always played for Halloween and for New Year's, like for Christmas, whatever. And as you probably know, I'm really good at finding gifts, right? And I don't really care about stats that much, but I just really like picking up those gifts. I don't know. It's just really like it's
on the street.
Yeah, like it's nice to get random things, and I earn a lot of money with that as well. And like it's every time I get something a little bit different, But I have never actually ever attended or was here when there was Easter, because usually that's kind of like at school, at university, that's kind of like the exam period, kind of like the partial exams start then, or colloquiums, or however you call them. And I've never been here for Easter, and so I never got that egg thingy on head, whatever, right? And I was really stoked this year, like finally I'm gonna get to experience Easter on the server, and guess what?
Nothing.
Ain't happening. Ain't happening, man.
Well, to be honest, the only redeeming quality for there to not be an Easter update is so that we don't have to see these goddamned Easter eggs, because they are the worst clothing item in the history of CnR. Especially because they take up a person's head, which is fucking unsightly, honestly.
And then I even offered Chivo to be his Easter bunny, and he straight out denied me. Like, what the fuck, old man? Like, for real.
Oh yeah, that's right. That time that you tried to gift Chivo something, and he told you he gifted you toilet paper. Was that it?
Yeah, I gave him a Valentine's heart for, I think it was around Valentine's time, and I said like something like have some heart or have some love, old man, or something. He gave me back toilet paper item and just said shithead.
Destroyed, owned, and wrecked. Well, with there being no Easter, there's a possibility that Crazy Bob may have converted. Now I don't know what religion they practice in Lithuania. Do you know?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not Muslim.
No,
they
know.
might be like Orthodox Christians,
So they're not Catholic.
I don't know, like they still believe in Jesus and shit, but their dates are a bit fucked up. Like they celebrate Easter not now, but like in 1 week's time. So there might be possibility that the Mew is up to some crazy shit, and we will have Easter next week. But
oh my god. If that does happen, I think, he will have been converted to something. But I guess
like we had Easter now, and I know like Serbians, for example, they are like Orthodox Christians or whatever. They have Easter next week, and also like how we celebrate New Year's like on 31st/1st. They celebrate New Year's like on 6th or something like that. So everything is like with them is like 1 week late. So there might be some hope, but I wouldn't count on it.
If there is Easter next week, then that'll tell a lot. But assuming we don't have Easter this year, maybe Crazy Bob may have converted to some of the other religions. Maybe as Chivo said, we might have an event for Ramadan. We might have an event for Eid Mubarak, whenever that is.
When are we gonna have Gay Pride?
Is there a Gay Pride holiday? I don't know.
No, they just randomly like organize gay prides, walk down the strip naked or something.
Well, I don't
I
know.
mean, we definitely have to invite Wax
Yay!
and Silver 683.
Yes, Wax, the bona fide tranny. But I don't know. I mean, there's a Trump Pence billboard, and Mike Pence used to be in favor of electroshock therapy to convert people from gay to straight. So I don't know if Crazy Bob would be for a gay pride day on the strip or something like that. But
Imagine that conversation though, like Mew and Crazy Bob in the same bed, and then she's like, "Hey, lovey bunny, we need to put Easter update on. Like it's fucking Easter. Jesus is watching us." Or something. I don't know. Like, what sort of conversation do you imagine like they have? I don't think like I think he's forgotten about CnR actually. Well, I would too if I would have Mew, but
Oh well, who knows? Who knows? But I'm sure that neither of their interests right now are in the players, But since the server is a lot, full of PH players, maybe Crazy Bob's gonna have a holiday for PH players, maybe for PH Independence or whatever other holiday they have. Maybe Crazy Bob will try to pander to the different dominant nationalities of the server. You never know.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, I don't really know what holidays they have, but
yeah, I have no idea. No idea. The only Muslim holidays or holiday I know is Eid Mubarak. I don't know what day that is. That would be a definite candidate for an event. PH holiday.
PH holiday.
Yes, but yeah, that's something we got to see in time. Let's see. So obviously, as everyone knows, Weed Day. Yeah, well, it already passed to that. Yeah, 420 already passed. Yeah, Crazy Bob didn't observe that pretty well. But yeah.
Why do you think he would like dish out free weed to everyone in the game or something?
It would probably be an all-new update where, you know how drugs are just drugs now? You just take 5 grams of drugs and there's nothing differentiating what drugs are in this game server. So maybe in an all-new 420 update, Crazy Bob will differentiate drugs. So there will be heroin, there will be meth, weed, ecstasy, just like in Chinatown Wars,
It's 13-year-old people playing this game, Rashawn. Seriously?
Well, yeah, but there are a lot of teenagers that play Grand Theft Auto too. I mean, there used to be there was a drug running mini game in Chinatown Wars where you could sell acid and heroin and coke and weed. So and Crazy Bob basically got a bunch of ideas in the last update or last 2 updates from GTA 5. So why not? Why not? Yes, Duterte Day. Yeah, Duterte. PH right now is saying that they're gonna declare war on Canada if they don't take if they don't take the trash that Canada put at PH for some reason. I don't know what that's really about. But yeah, PH is a real ruthless country. Sometimes I really do want to ask the PH Cafe people, what do they think of their president? Because PH players never talk about their president. They really don't. Like, Duterte's name rarely ever is uttered out of the mouth of a PH player on this server. So I kind of wonder what they think about their president. I mean,
What do you think about your president?
Oh, well, the American president is, he has issues. He has a lot of issues. That's what I can say. Here's the thing. It's a movement around the world now. Like, I don't know if you heard, the Ukrainian president is a comedian with no political experience. He won the election.
Wow.
It's going around the world. Typical politicians are no longer going to be the norm around the world.
Oh yeah, look. USA picked clown rather than real person, and Ukraine picked clown rather than real politicians. So
It's,
yeah, that's the future, I guess.
it's the future,
Big
yeah.
clown.
The future evolves, and we, as a people, will be ruled by ordinary people, kind of.
That's saying like there's quite a big chance that the Jar 7 Rob Banks will be future presidents.
Well, I'm glad that I do not live in Tunisia or Lithuania for that to happen. Then again, we already have our clown as chief already, so you never know. But yeah, speaking of chiefs, Kesh, I've been these days, for some reason, I've been watching a lot of historical videos on
Trying
Snitsu.
to get educated.
Yeah, I'm trying to get educated, you know what I mean? Because, usually on CnR, whenever you see conversations about, like, world wars or, history, basically all it is 16-year-olds talking about Jews, and, yeah, that's it. They just talk about Jews with no context whatsoever. That's it.
So what sort of the history era you've been looking into? World War II, World War One? What battles that USA had to do with, or just overall, or
Mostly Europe. World War II. There's this dude on Snitsu. His name is Oversimplified, and he basically animates.
That's a good start to history. Like, you fucking simplify me this. I'm American. Dumb it down,
no.
bro.
Wow. Listen, wrong. Well, listen. Here's the thing, Kesh. Right? In order to and it's not only for America. All right. In order to get people interested in stuff that they would not normally be interested about, or would be bored to death about, you've got to make it fun. And what's more fun than nothing? But what's more fun than drawing stuff out, drawing people, drawing maps, drawing visual stuff to make people see their history? You know what I mean? I tell you, Europe, I'm surprised Europe isn't a desolate wasteland right now. Like, holy snit. Over the past century,
Russians
you guys
saved
have
us,
been...
man. Russians saved us.
Russia? So Russia and the Soviet Union saved all of Europe, is what you're saying?
Of course. I won't say Americans did it, of course, because you're here, but...
Well, I guess I might agree. Because before you asked, hey, Rashawn, is the radio up? I was watching a video on how American president, if he wasn't being a bitch back in, 1916 or some shit, maybe World War II wouldn't have happened. Because, America is far away from Europe, and Europe was fighting because they're bitches. I didn't mean to say that. But, the USA got into the war too late, and it might have changed a lot of snit. But I've been going. I watched a video on why Macedonia is named North Macedonia, which to me at the time, a few years ago, didn't make any sense. But now, I understand now. Part of
So since you're watching so much
what
of the history, is Kosovo Serbia or not?
Kosovo is Albania. All right, Kosovo is a majority. The majority of Kosovo is Albanian. They declare themselves independent. I'm pretty sure 50%, more than 50% of the UN recognizes Kosovo as independent. So they are independent, and they are Albanian. Okay, Kosovo is Albania, 100%.
Like, it's very important though that, like, when you watch those videos, you watch like from different sources of the authors of different nationalities, right? Because when you speak to Russians, they think they won the Second World. I think I already went through this. USA definitely thinks they won the war, and then You have UK people who also think they won the war because of the Enigma and whatever, deciphering codes and stuff like that. So you always have to go through various sources before you
Well,
build your full picture of what.
me saying that really isn't based on the video I watched. It's just before. I've always had the thought that Kosovo is Albania, just to basically talk snit. But either way, without any perspective whatsoever, Kosovo is Albania. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Kosovo is Albania. No matter what logic you throw at me, Kosovo is Albania, and eventually something will happen, and Kosovo will declare independence.
If we go back to the topic of Easter, right? I never understood what's the connection between chocolate bunnies and hiding chocolate bunnies around the house and Jesus waking up? Can you explain that to me, because I'm struggling.
No, I don't. I think I might have heard something about how rabbits have something to do with Easter, but I completely forgot. And yeah, I completely forgot. So, yeah, I don't know.
Here, for example, yeah, whatever. When the Jesus dies or whatever on Big Friday or whatever it's called in your country for 20, whatever. You take basket of different foods that symbolize things in church. So like we have like eggs for Jesus blood drops, I guess. You have bread for Jesus body, I guess. Then you have meat for something, I don't know what, and then you have horseradish for his for the nails that have been put in his body when he was crossed on the cross, like because it's supposed to hurt a bit when you eat that. And a horseradish is like the most hot or whatever, painful to eat right now because it's spring. So anyway, you take that into the church, then you wait overnight for Jesus to wake up, and then in the morning you usually have like a breakfast together with all those foods, And the bread is a bit different than the rest of the year because it's made of different flour and different stuff, and usually they put like a bit of fruits inside and stuff like that. So it's nice breakfast, and that's the point of it, like of family being together or whatever. So like that's kind of like symbolizes Jesus or whatever in a way, but like I never understood where the chocolate bunnies come into this story.
Well, maybe it's like rabbits, as a whole, and then it just morphed into them being chocolate. I don't know. I mean, a lot of holidays seem to have a lot of weird connections, like Halloween and pumpkins, I guess. It's a hook, I guess. The bread and the wine and the whatever it is that actually has merit, but
I mean, because like I understand, like even Christmas, right? It's like a Christian holiday, whatever. But there's still parts of the Christmas that you have in there that's still kind of a bit connected to the church. I mean, people still go to church for the Christmas, or like there's still nativity in places and stuff like that, But chocolate bunnies and Easter, it's like no fucking relation there, It's like it doesn't exist.
Well, since you can't eat actual rabbits, well, you can, but you can, but it's who wants to kill a small, fluffy-looking, harmless animal? A lot of people. So, well, some don't. So, in reaction, we prop up a candy chocolate bunny. What's more cute than that, huh?
True. You know what happened once though? Those chocolate bunnies that you can buy, right? That are like hollow and inside or whatever.
Yes.
And they're like covered with like cling foil or whatever that is painted on or whatever printed on. Like there's bunny printed on the cling foil or whatever. You peel it, right?
Yes. Yes.
So my mom bought me an Easter bunny like when I was little, and I started peeling it off. and there's fucking Santa on there. Because what I think happened is like that company made a batch of those chocolate figurines or whatever they're called, and they didn't sell all the ones they made for Christmas. So what did they do? They didn't remelt all the chocolate and like mold it again, mold it again, whatever. And they just like peeled it off, I guess, all those chocolates, and just put different cling foil on, or whatever it's called, you know, like the color.
Yeah.
And I was fucking scarred for life. I'm expecting fucking bunny there. I'm peeling that like a 6-year-old or whatever, and then I see this old man under the fucking bunny.
Well, you know, this is business, Kesha, right? We can't waste chocolate, all right? And people there must have thought, oh, well, it's Easter, Christmas, you know, they both have to do with Christianity anyway. It's the same shit, right? Just 7 months apart, 8 months apart. So guess what? They just rebranded it.
Yo, man, Christmas is December. Easter is April. 7 months. GG, nice maths. Quick maths, bro.
Well, I corrected myself and said 8 months, alright? So put some respect, but that's not any worse than the company that did it, alright? They must have thought, oh, it's the same shit, you know? Same basis, just different symbols, you know? And they didn't want to waste that chocolate, so it's a business.
Did you spend your Easter?
Easter? We didn't do a snitz, alright? Easter is just one of those other holidays, okay? It's just a holiday. Very
Your
simple.
mom is Christian though, like what the fuck?
Excuse
Your
me?
mom is like religious now?
Yes.
Didn't she go like, our Lord Savior woke up today?
No, the most that actually she didn't go to church, no. Because there are a lot of there's a lot of fake people around the world, or
Really?
not the world, the country, that they only go to church once a year.
Yeah.
And guess what day that is? Easter.
Christmas.
Easter.
Christmas.
No, it's Easter because Christmas is not always on a Sunday. And
But you get day off anyway, so why not? Doesn't matter.
you've got to you know, sit back, relax, open presents on Christmas, but Easter is always on Sunday.
Oh no, I'm one of those people who goes to church twice a year. I really have to go here to confess all the sins, but hell.
Wait, you go to church on Christmas?
Sometimes, but I mainly go because I like the choir singing Christmas carols and shit like that. Mostly because of that. And because like we don't have boring churches like you. I already showed you this one time. Like we have like Baroque church, like which is I don't know how many 100 years old, and it's like all in gold inside and stuff. It's not like those modern churches like you just have it like in something like a lecture room or a big hall, you know? It's like actually proper building that's several centuries old, you know? And they make it look really, really nice for Christmas always, and it's kind of like just even a show to go there, you know? It's like it's not as great as the ripped Notre Dame, you know, or whatever.
Oh yes.
Did you see the news?
Yes.
It's
you know, it went down.
but it's that style of church, you know, similar. Yeah, like what a frick. So like, right, the church goes down, like the church got like burned down, right? And immediately, like within few days, you have like the most rich people in France chipping in like I don't know how many 100 million euros or something. And I'm like, I don't mind, you know, like it's a historical thing. It should be there. It's always been there. It has like immense value, whatever, you know. But I just don't get it in terms of like church is probably the like the richest organization that exists on the planet Earth. Like they have like money, like buildings, forests, whatnot. And you're donating to those people, like for real? Like, I mean, it's one church that burned down. Surely they can find like 100 million euros somewhere to chip in. Like, they have billions. Like, wouldn't it be better, like, if a church covered this expense, because you have like old grannies like donating and shit all the time anyway, and then those rich people or friends help like someone that's actually in need. I mean, I don't know. It's like helping a rich person that's already rich.
So you're telling me that churches are just one big business?
Yes, like for real. Like when I go like in a city and I walk like by the biggest churches like here, there's just like Mercedes parked out outside, like for real. And like we had fiasco in our country because the church here owned like 90% share or more of some television network. And guess what this television network was doing?
What?
Broadcasting adult content movies.
Well, that's a big contradiction.
They're owned by church. Yeah, so you have shit like that. And we had a huge like thing in news now because one priest said that whoever donates less than 50 euros, when they go to Sunday church, if they donate less than 50 euros, they are not worth to be in presence of Jesus.
Well, that's kind of...
This alone tells you, like, but they have like a lot of money. I mean, they're like, yeah, church is pretty rich organization. So
is this why? Because like 15 years ago, because these days I watch videos and I see statistics and of people largely, becoming atheist. Is all this a cause of that or an effect of that?
People see that, and they're like, seriously, like, I don't know, they're asking all the time. I don't know how it's in your church and stuff, but here, like, they all the time like go trip you, because they go like with a little basket around the church, and you chip in whatever you have, and they keep nagging you for money all the freaking time. And you're like, man, like, you have fucking Mercedes parked outside, but you use like few times a year to drive to another church and have a mass there. And you're asking like people that earn like miserable wage or whatever, to chip in like banknotes, not like the change, kind of like it doesn't feel right, and to tell people like what amount they should donate, like, people are different, they have different salaries, they earn like different money. People contribute whatever they think it's right or whatever they feel they can afford. Maybe 1 month it's like 10 euros, maybe next month it's 50, maybe next month after that it's 20 cents, I don't know. But it's really wrong to like the way they do. I mean, it just doesn't feel right. Like my mom, for example, she goes to church here and there, and she's like Christian as well, I guess, but she's not fooling herself, she's like very smart, I guess. She like thinks it's disgusting and things like that. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's the part of the reason why people don't really like church that much, at least here. I don't know how it's over there, but
well, when I used to go to church with my mom, the last one that I went to with her, I think there were 3 different times that they asked for cash. One is like in the middle when the pastor's like, the Bible says not to pass around, it says to bring, so we got to bring our snit to the front and put it in this little thing, next time is like near the end, when the pastor winds up a situation where I don't remember an example, but he basically makes a scenario that would fit and convince people to give their blessings, if you know what I mean, give
Yeah.
their cash. And there's also one thing called the tithe, I guess, where you gotta give 10% of your earnings to the Lord. And you know,
Damn.
and sometimes at these moments, like because my mom is very contradictory. Like at times she'll be like, she'll come home and be like, me don't know why churches always ask for money. They always ask for money. And then sometimes in the moment while the pastor like is conjuring up this situation where it would be to convince people to give some cash, like I look at her and I just see if she's gonna fall for it. Like not fall for it, but like do it.
Yeah.
And then once in a while she does it. And I'm like, damn. So it kind of confused me a little bit. So yeah, it may be similar. I don't know if churches here fund in the adult movie industry, but
No, but seriously, like you don't understand the extent. I mean, maybe it's a bit different here, but as organization, like church here, it's super rich. Like they literally own like. I don't know here, for example, after the war and stuff like that, before, it was socialism or whatever. So everything was everyone's, There was like a lot that was owned by the country or just by people like as a society or a group or whatever. And then when that thing ended, like you needed to find like the rightful owners, And most of that didn't really have a owner that you could pinpoint down easy went to the church. So I think like at least in Slovenia and neighboring countries, they probably like own like half of the land even, like when it comes to like forests, like old houses that no one lives in now and stuff like that. I mean, it's really a lot. And it's not just that like just in Vatican and like as like a centralized thing. It's pretty rich organization. I mean, I don't know, like there was this dude that came once like from Vatican like to our church, and guess what he came in the car?
Lamborghini.
Ferrari, because he's from it, And I'm like,
no.
What? You're a fucking priest. You are a priest. Bro, what you doing in Ferrari? And then you go like half hour later, you like, donate for church. We don't have money for electricity. We don't have money for that. For like, fuck off.
Well, you would think that people would be a bit more discreet about it. I kind of realized when, they would say, help donate for the building fund or some snits, and they'd be like, the Lord will acknowledge your contributions to the church, and he will reward you handsomely. So, yeah, and that's something I'm very confused about. Very, very confused about. But yeah, big business. Everything in the world is a big, big business. No longer the Socialist Republic of Slovenia. Okay, no more SR Slovenia, SFR Yugoslavia. Nothing like that anymore. But yes.
But those YouTube videos that you watch, I actually watched something similar, kind of. But those are actually really fun. Those animated like little thingies, There, I watched about Chernobyl reactor, what went wrong, and like they explained it like in pictures, because like not everyone is like super scientific person, and there's like thousands of technicalities, that probably went wrong there that the dumb person's never gonna be able to comprehend, or just it's too deep, So they dumb it down a bit and kind of like sum it up, and it's super. If someone would read that to you, it would be boring as fuck. Or even if they put like slideshow of pictures, it wouldn't be as interesting. But because it's like animated and drawn, and it's like super cute, and you remember more, I guess.
Exactly. Apparently in Chernobyl, there's a thing called the something foot, or whatever the fuck it is. And if you get too close to it, your face will melt off. So, GG. Nice job by Ukraine. Tell you, GG, what a great country. That's why you got a comedian as the...
Did you know that Lofi is from Ukraine?
Yes, Lofi is from Ukraine, yes, I know.
Seriously? I didn't know that.
Yes, the only two people from Ukraine that I know on the server are Lofi and Yessi. That's it.
Big couple.
And I'm not even sure if Lofi's like ethnically Ukrainian, so I'm not really sure.
Oh.
Not really sure, but still, there's a lot of oddity on the world. Hey, Purple Pant, better watch your mouth, all right? Puny voice, better put some respect on my name, all right?
He's proper bitch lately. I don't know if he's going through menopause or something. This kid, freaking proper bad man. Oh, and I've been organized.
Oh, your ex too, yeah.
I don't know if you know that. I played with Tolland.
Yes, Tolland.
I played with Igli yesterday. I'm like hanging out with the Elves lately. I don't know what's this.
Yeah, see, Albanian players, they are underrated and very over-dramatized players, you know? People love to scapegoat, and they're like, oh, Albanians suck, you know, Kosovo, Serbia, and all this crap, but, you know, Albanians are pretty funny. Albanians are the funniest people, on average, on the server, yes.
True.
Easily. So all you Albanian haters, well, guess what? You can go fuck yourself. Alright, because most of you developed first world bitches, when things don't go your way, you bitch. You know what I mean? You bitch. And Albanians, what they gotta do? They just gotta take it. They gotta take it.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed by this Tolland guy. He's really good cop. He's a better driver than you.
Wrong.
You just said that they're underrated. I'm just giving you the real picture here.
Well, that doesn't mean we have to go into exaggeration, alright? I'm trying to prop up Albanians, but it'll be an exaggeration to say that Tolland is a better driver than I am. That is complete and utter bullshit. Utter bullshit. Let's see, here's what I was gonna say. So, as people know, the CnR Radio has been increasingly unstable over the past couple of months. We have had Gweens.
Like Russian girly.
Yes, unstable just like Russian girly and JFTW. So, you know, we've had Gweens on the dockets for like 4 or 5 months now.
Yes. And guess what happened last week? We had freaking greens lined up for last week. I come here on Wednesday. I'm like, Sean, let's have Punkery show. Sean is like, radio's not working. I'm like, we have interview tomorrow with greens. Yeah, let's see if tomorrow radio is gonna work. Guess what? It didn't work. I lost my fucking shit. I was like, I ain't doing this shit anymore. I planned my afternoon to not do something else or whatever that I'm gonna be here, and then I come here and I'm left hanging, like, for real. So I was like, yo, Sean is admin. How hard is it to give an admin for radio to an admin? There's 3 fucking people that are useless as fuck. Doogie, Sphincter Gay, and someone else. I don't know. Whoever.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
So I was literally like gonna put ultimatum up on you on them. If you don't fucking sort this shit out in like 1 month is too much time. In 2 weeks, I'm outie, bro. You're gonna have Little Tank here or Cyberboard or some other Snitter, you know.
Right.
Words gonna keep spinning around, but like it's really small thing. It shouldn't be as hard as it is. Like why is everything on CNR so hard to sort out? Like simple freaking things. Like this should take no more than 20 minutes, you know, to give someone over permission. Especially like how, like at some point you have to have some self-criticism as well. Like for example, when I'm working like on a group project at uni or something, if I'm slacking and I'm not doing my work, I feel guilty. I feel like I'm not contributing to the group. I feel like, others can feel that I'm not really doing my share. So, how did Doogie and Sphincter and those fucking idiots not know that they're fucking screwing up all the time? And they're like, listen, those two dudes or dudesses or whatever, they have fucking show and we're screwing them all the time.
Oh, well, either that or they're not really aware of,
They have to be aware, but just simple how many times it goes down. They should be aware.
yeah, it's true. But, that's why I was going to say, that we do have, or my plan was, to get through these gay ass interviews, and then after that, once the slate is clean, then we'll see, about some kind of decommission if there needs to be, because
That means CnR Radio is dead. It's dead. CnR is dead. Is dead.
Maybe, but I want to get through Queens. I want to get through Manual Rules. I want to see if Parrish is down. We got talks of light packs or something. So, if we can get those out of the fucking docket finally, then we can think about that is dead. But yeah.
I'm sad also because I wouldn't say it changes the landscape of CNR massively if we have this show or not, but the thing is that in fucking dying place, someone's trying to contribute something, even a bit, even if 2 or 3 people are listening to us and it's their break out of the fucking Octavia mixes 24/7, that's something good, and it's just 1-2 hours a week, how hard, it's not hard for us to maintain, and we can come here and show up and we do it and stuff. Why is it so hard just for the server to be running, push of a button, to restart something? And that kind of really makes me sad, because when everything's falling apart and stuff, you should maybe appreciate more what you have, and whatever, I don't know, the efforts of others, and even that it's not worth anything in the end.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of loosened bolts and loosened screws in this server that need to be tightened, and once you tighten one goes loose, and it turns into a huge problem. And from what I'm seeing, I don't know if it's a more difficult process than was thought of when Big E was like, "Oh, Sean, okay, we'll have you as radio admin," and all this snits. But who knows? Who knows? But the inevitable is that the radio will break again. When will it break? Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, we'll see.
So yeah, Greens, bro, you listening to this or no? Can you let me know in the chat if you're listening?
Yeah, we need to know if Gweens will be in.
If he will be here tomorrow, hopefully the fucking thing won't die by tomorrow. It's God. It's it's as short-living as fucking teenagers' love relationships. One day they're together, the other day they aren't, and shit like that.
Yes, it was never official. That's basically how it is. But yeah, because here's the thing, it's been such a suspense for Queens, Manu Rules, who knows where that'll go. Parrish, maybe a 5-hour interview where we talk about, interstellar stars and,
You don't
air
think
particles.
It's gonna be the same with Greens?
No. It's because Parrish is so out there that, you can go to the universe. You know what I mean?
Look at this fucking sexist pig. I ask him, Greens, are you here? Can you let me know? Cash, do you make good burgers?
I don't think he's listening. I don't think he's listening. That's why he said something about burgers. But yeah, it's basically how it is.
I would really want to have Chivo on the show too. I want to hear that old fucking man. Have him apologize for giving me toilet paper. What do you think I am, from Africa?
Well, you used the toilet paper, didn't you? I mean, you took the toilet paper, you used it, so it was a great addition to your life, right? Exactly. See? You can't talk snit when you actually used Bio fucking destroyed him. Shout out to Bio. Don't worry, Bio. I'm working on your Rate My Chase. You know, it'll take a while because, you know, your chase was like 25 minutes, so, you know, we'll see what happens to it. You know, I'll be glad to do that. Snits, shout out to Bio.
If the radio goes down, though, people would probably like to know: is your YouTube career ending? Are you gonna continue with the Rate My Chases and the fucking Hustlers of the Day, or Hustlers of the Week, or Hustlers of the...
I don't want to reveal what is going to happen to Rate My Chase on this show, but for all the rest of the stuff, yeah, they'll continue. Of course, they're independent of this show. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, whenever the time comes to me to talk about Rate My Chase, I'll do that in a thing. But yeah, you know, as far as this radio show, you know, it's come a good way in snits. But if you know, the big heads, the powers, you know, aren't putting maintenance on it, well, what can you say?
What can you do? What more can I
say? Exactly. What can you do? Let's see here. What else was I going to talk about?
Yo, listen, let's take a break. I need the fucking tea, because I'm like shivering and shaking here because of the withdrawal syndrome.
Alright, let Kesh have her tea. Alright, we'll
so let me have my tea, and you can think how you're gonna wrap up this.
Exactly. We'll be right back on the Punkery Show. And welcome back to the Punkery Show. This is Rashawn, co-host Kesh. So I guess Kesh right now is going to ask if Gweens is going to be on for tomorrow. This will be like the 7th time that we will try to get something to him. Also, before I get into Rafadina's Area Status giveaway, let me just, I spotted there apparently is an Infernus in the city. There's an Infernus in the city, and it needs to be properly cleaned up before pandemonium strikes inside me. Alright? Pandemonium will strike. I'm not gonna say that pandemonium will strike. Or, where'd he go? Or that pandemonium, you know, where'd he go? Is that a... He's way too fucking fast, man.
Are you struggling?
Ah, I got him. Look at this cocksucker. He's running from cops in an Infernus. Look at this dickhead. Look at him.
How did he get in Infernus?
How did he get it? Well, I'm telling you. I think your brother. Your brother, yes, your brother. His name is yeah. He's probably your
fucking Slovenian admins, man. Fucking useless. Useless.
I think you are his 7th cousin, twice
Probably.
removed, possibly. His name is Money. You know, here's the thing about Money. So a week ago, now sometimes here's the thing. So whenever we distance ourselves from a mate that we once had, a mate that we once had. Last week, I noticed Money looking at the challenge records, and obviously a lot of the challenge records are fucked because a few years ago, at some random 0.011% time, a guy finds a car that was not spawned in the city that it's supposed to be in. You know what I mean? Like, for example, let's not say in Infernus for a second. Let's say in Los Santos. What car cannot be gotten in Los Santos? Let's say the ZR350. I don't know if that's true or not.
Windsor.
Okay, let's say the Windsor cannot be obtained in Los Santos. All right, let's say the Windsor is fast enough. It's not, but let's say the Windsor is fast enough to gain a top 10 on a challenge. Yeah, Comet. Conamela said Comet. Yes. So let's say that the Comet is fast enough in Los Santos to get any of the race challenge records. Okay. So let's say a guy with a Comet gets number 1. Now, a guy will look at the challenge records and be like, hey, how did this guy do it in a Comet? And they'll say, oh, shit, this is unfair, man. Like, I want to get number 1 on the race challenges, too. But the only way that they can get a Comet is if they ask an admin for one. And that's not very fair, because whether or not you give a Comet to 1 people, 10, 20, 100, there is no universal access to have a Comet. And that is where the Infernus comes in. Because the Infernus is the fastest car on the server. Alright? But it's only available.
Hot Racer is faster.
It's not. But the Infernus is the fastest car on the server. Okay? And when a guy, because CalCon's told me this a few times, how Subtact has a challenge record in one of the 2 cities, but no one else can do it because he used an Infernus, and that the race challenges will not be cleared ever. They'll never be cleared. So that's not fair. And I don't know. I don't think I gave Subtact an Infernus. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
What about, you're angry about people that are given cars, right, that don't belong in that city. But what about people just surfing on top of vehicles? That's not fair, in my opinion, too. Like,
that's not fair either. Yeah.
Exactly. You have like 5 people with just exactly the same time, and just one guy can do it, and the rest are just surfing. That's
that is some gay shit. It is. Whenever I see somebody on the race challenges complete it on foot, first of all, I'm like, why'd Crazy Bob allow that? I guess it was scripted some way. And second of all, why would people, in their own conscience and their own common sense, even put themselves onto this list when they didn't do anything? All they did was get on top of some cocksucker's vehicle that actually did. Now, that wasn't the point I was trying to make, though, because it was supposed to be about money specifically. Because when he showed us, and I think it was in Los Santos, he showed us the challenge record. I think it was number 21. It's in Los Santos, not LB, so we can't see it now. For some reason, he pointed out Mew.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, do you know how long it's been since, money and Mew were a thing? Why, all these years later, are we going back to the past, the dead past of, happiness turned into whatever it was? I'm not going to pretend to guess what it is. But there really is no point to bring up, because there are many, many situations and many, many examples on the race challenge list of people illegitimately getting in the top 5. But money has to single out Mew. Now, Obviously, I am not on either side. If if we go back to the CnR awards, and I'm not sure, I'm not on either side whatsoever, but it's a bit petty to go back on someone who has not played the server for about 2 years now. Alright? We gotta move on. We gotta find better pastures. We have to, not let our past define us. Because when we go back on that and bring that up to people who really do not give a single snit, then that only says something about you. So, that's how it's gonna be.
I don't know why this reminded me of a Banksy thing. Banksy once wrote that person dies twice.
Yes.
You die when you die, and then you also die when people stop talking about you. Because,
Exactly.
when you die, right? But there's one person or some people that still remember you, and that's little, a burst of people that will remember you from that person. They will talk about you in their words or whatever. But when the very last person dies that remembers you, then you're already gone, And
Exactly.
well, I don't know why that reminded me just now, because you said he doesn't forget about you, he just should let it go.
Let it go, yes, because throughout history, we have ancestors. And those ancestors are more remembered by their immediate ancestors. Like, for example, I do not know my father's parents' names. I don't. Because I never met them. Okay? And I don't know who they are. But as time goes on, people that live and pass away, their names are forgotten but remembered by people that knew them. And then those people move on as well. And then their names are only remembered through, I guess not historians, but people who,
I just wonder, don't you wonder who's gonna be the last person that's gonna remember you? Our last person.
Yeah, I've never thought of that before. But the thing is, when what are you laughing at?
Got fucking wrecked as fuck. He got destroyed next to me.
Owned. Left 4 Dead is dead. But yeah, I'll end on this.
I'm playing with Albanians again.
Who? Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
Oh. But I'll just say this and we'll end the show. Alright.
No, I want to go into something else.
Oh, okay.
Are you getting it, bro? She getting it.
Okay, I'll just say one thing and then I'll pass it off to you. All right. The bad times will only be remembered if the guy who's been inflicted by the bad times brings up. Otherwise, the bad times will always be forgotten. So let the past be past and stop being a bitch. Go ahead.
So, did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes, I watched Game of Thrones. Yes, I did.
I think Brienne of Tarth is gonna die, right? Because look, when you make someone knight in a game, in episodes, that's like her last honor. She was made a knight and then she died with the freaking honor, that she deserved. So when I saw that moment when she was knighted, I'm like, yep, she's the first one to go. Don't you think? Who do you think is gonna die first?
First, the wildling dude who drank all the.
Torment.
Yeah.
Torment.
Yeah, because he wants to. I have no basis for why I said that, because I'm saying it as if they haven't already finished taping the season, because maybe he's got some other stuff in the background that he wants to do, like other ventures that he's gonna do. So maybe they'll kill him off in the next episode, and then he did those ventures. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have no idea. I assume that half of the current cast will get their ass kicked, and at least one character that people hold near and dear to their hearts, I guess, will get destroyed as well.
Personally think it's gonna be either of like Brienne and Jamie going, as a couple, or Brienne and Tormund going as a like together, fighting side by side. I think the Grey Worm is gonna go as well. And I don't know. I don't think Arya is gonna go because she has a thing with this new weapon that she got. Like the freaking double ended dildo or whatever the fuck it is. And fucking Arya just bossing around, bro. Take your goddamn own pants off, bro. She's really going at it, man.
Arya is a mouse, so she's definitely not gonna get destroyed. So.
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah,
do you think Jon Snow is gonna get it in the end, or Daenerys? I mean, because I like Daenerys a lot, but she's getting a bit power hungry, bro. She's accusing their Jon Snow that he made up that he's Targaryen just because he wants the throne. Like, oh, your friend told you, and your best friend and your brother, whatever.
You think that's made up?
No, I mean, she accused them that is that convenient they told you that you're Targaryen.
Oh, yes. Well, one of those two are going to 100% get destroyed. I've got no doubt in my mind. One of the two will die, 100%.
You don't have like favorites who you want to just standing by and just don't have your own emotions invested in it.
Well, I don't want to see any of them die, but I don't have a very small group of people that I want to stay alive. Of course, Jon Snow. You hope he stays alive. I think he's the number one on the list as far as hope he stays alive. But as far as the rest, I don't know, because there's no point to really pick favorites, because the show does not discriminate. And anybody can get their ass kicked whenever their ass will be kicked. So, that's how it'll be. So, 5 weeks left of Game of Thrones? Yes, and then it'll be dead as dead forever.
I was a big hater at the beginning. I didn't want to watch it because I thought this show just gets its views, it milks its views by nudity, and I want to have some substance. But the first season, I think it had a lot of nudity to attract new viewers, I guess, maybe even. And I don't think it was actually that good the first season. I was a big hater of Game of Thrones. I was like, I ain't gonna watch this shit. And now I'm watching it. I'm staying up 3 a.m. to watch it. Fucking sad life, bro. Sad life.
Well, as Gwyn said, sex sells. That's how it is. Sex sells.
We're gonna see you Greens tomorrow. You're gonna have Mike.
Yes.
You will be able to say whatever you want.
Will be around tomorrow, and will finally get his interview out of it, because it's been too long.
One step closer. One step closer to deading this.
Yes, one step closer to Sam being finished, because you don't want to end the show on and be like, Rashawn, you just ended the show because blah blah and all this. But yeah, exactly. But the very last thing I want to say is that I looked up this NF dude, and I listened to 8 songs, I believe, and as vulgar of a person Kesh is on the server, on the show, everywhere, I would never have expected Kesh to be a fan of Christian hip-hop.
Christian hip-hop? Is he really a Christian hip-hop?
Well, the thing is, he's not. He rejects that title. In fact, every Christian artist, not everyone, but a few Christian artists, they reject having that title because it's kind of negative as far as trying to get mass, popularity. Because to the normal and the growing population of atheism, people don't want to be labeled as a Christian anything. So he doesn't go by a Christian hip-hop artist, but whenever they classify him as a Christian hip-hop artist. So, how about that? Who knew Cash was into Christian rap? She's so vulgar. She says so many weird snit on this show, like, for real.
I'm just gonna end this, Sean. I literally thought I'm gonna become a nun by... I was like, till the age of 12, I thought I'm gonna be a nun. And then it went all tits up, so GG up.
It went tits up. I don't think that's an accurate... that's not accurate.
Not mine, obviously, but...
Well, yeah, that's a good way to end the show. Well, that'll do it for the Punkery show. Hopefully tomorrow, cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Greens will be on the show Thursday at, I don't know, what time.
Greens, I really think no girl has been so excited for you before as I am for tomorrow.
Yes.
You will play wrecked.
Yes, there'll be another Flintwood situation. But anyway, that'll end it for the Punkery show. For Cassius, for Sean, see you tomorrow. And we'll end the show on Greens' quote, Cash wanted to be a nun so she could meet a guy to hit on her and say, sorry, but you don't get none. Hey.
That was for Sean, actually.